Hey, hey now, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's me, Audrey Lane, just the Audrey Lane. So I am back from vacation up in Pittsburgh. I'm back here, home in Philly. And I was trying to wrap my head around, not in a bad wrapping around, but wrap my head around of the question. What is the question? The question that I had on my mind my whole vacation was um, love. As you guys watch the videos and y'all come on, thank you so much for subscribing. Um, this whole weekend was basically um, a love on event. Remember, I tell you, you gotta love someone outside of yourself. You need to love yourself first, because with loving yourself, it's how you can only love other people. Yeah, you may show up and be around people, but are you really in love with being present, being of service to them? And that only can happen when you are in love with yourself. I want each and every one of us to make sure we take time out to love ourselves, to get ourselves together. It's not selfish to want to work on yourself and work with God to help you in that process. That is not selfish. That is not selfish. Don't let anyone tell you that that is, because that can be a distraction from you bettering your relationship with yourself and God when they want to tell you that's selfish. That is not selfish for you to take care of yourself. Self-care is what we have to do. We cannot expect people to honor and respect us if we don't do it for ourselves. So love was definitely the theme for it. Just came to me, like the question just came to me, like, what is love? And love for me this weekend was making sure I was present, making sure that I showed up, making sure that I was being of service, making sure that I was loving on me so that I could love on others. I took time out this weekend to be by myself. As you guys know, I did a couple of videos, and I had a family member say to me, kind of almost in a way of like, you're not here, you're not being a part of. And it's like, yes, I am being a part of. It's where you have to multitask, because I do multitask. So, you know, I was going to let that kind of get to me until I had to say no. Me doing my videos and me coming on to post them, because I don't really watch them after I post them. I mean, it's really more of a getting things out and sharing with you guys what actually pops up in my head right then and there. You know, so as much as I definitely need to be present and everything, and I am, when something comes up like, oh, I gotta share this with my peoples, I gotta share it with them, I gotta share it, I gotta get it up out of me, you know, I definitely do. So that's a part of self-care and loving yourself and loving me. I find enjoyment of releasing things that I know that normally would have my mind racing. What am I doing wrong? I could have handled this better and everything. So coming on to talk and get up with you guys really is something of a self-care, I say, for me, because for so many years I had held things in and masked them with other things and everything like that. And I just don't want to do that no more. I don't want to live a fake life. I want to be real, like real. Um, Being coming on with you guys and sharing and talking with you guys has been really good. You know, um, I really would like to get some of you guys to put your thoughts into what are some steps we need to take in self-care for ourselves. What do you think is a step you want to take for yourself for self-care, whether it be, you know, starting a YouTube channel, um, getting up with some friends you haven't seen in a while, you know, um, taking a moment where you go out and treat yourself to lunch, dinner. Um, I've been buying myself flowers, cards. I mean, man, it's not where people might want to say that's like, oh, too much of yourself, and that's where you could be conceited. No, I'm loving myself. Like I find out when I do them things for myself, it makes me happy and say like, because I don't just randomly like go out and buy flowers. I say, you know, you've been good today. You've been good this whole week. You know, you deserve some flowers. Show yourself how much you value yourself. Yeah. So I buy them. Why not? I don't need nobody to buy them for me. It will come a time where that will happen, and I will accept them. But I mean, hey, for right now, I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying the self care. Take care of yourself, guys. It is relaxing, you know, to show yourself that you are worth more than what you think. You know, I want you guys to post in here some things of how you can show yourself self-care and self-love. You know, we we love our children, you know, we love our families, and that's great. And if that's how you value yourself, I'm not saying don't. I'm not saying don't. But what do you, what your name is, what do you like? Do you even know what you like? Can you say, hey, I like waking up in the morning and I like to do this? Put that in. Whatever that is for you. What do you like? And if you don't know, try different things so you can find out what it is you like. I, over the weekend, tasted some new food because my sister husband is Nigerian. And let me tell you one thing. It is so different when we go to like certain restaurants, whether it's Caribbean food, you know, Haitian food, whatever. And it's at a restaurant. It is totally different because they still cook it almost for, you know, other people and Americanized. Um, but to taste some of the food there, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know, I'm like, when the next time we getting up? Because everything was so good. I mean, I ate something. I wish that I would have remembered the names, you know. But we gonna get up again, and I probably do where I will share that, you know, put that on and have everybody's permissions for them to want to be on video because they may not feel comfortable and everything with it. But the food was awesome, like awesome. Very nice, pleasant people to be around. Very just, it was an awesome weekend. So I'm finding out that there's things that I like that I probably would have years ago shot down, screwed my face up. One, I do a lot of stuff with my face. I noticed years ago that my face kind of like tense up. Like people may think that, oh, she may be mean because my face stayed with this thing right here some of the times. But I'm learning that I want to, you know, try to correct some of my movements with my face. Excuse me. I I will work on that. You notice things along the way in your life that you kind of want to change, and it's never too late to change them. So that's a part of self self-care and self-love for me, to notice that there's some things that I want to change, and there's some things that I need to work harder on so I can learn them. There's some things that I kind of shut down before that I want to open back up. There's some things that I had open that I need to shut down. So don't never look at your age as, oh, I'm this age, I can't do this. You know, you can do it. You know, they always would say the thing, you can't teach a dog, an old dog, new tricks. That's what schooling is for. You get the right kind of teacher, and you definitely can be changed. We all know who that is. Y'all know who I'm about to say, right? Yes, God. Yes. And He will send people your way that will help you along the journey He wants you to take. Don't be ashamed of opening up yourself. It's okay. You know, people may have gotten used to you being in a certain way and everything. You can change. You can do it. Don't never let somebody say, oh, I like the old you before. I've had someone say that to me. And I was like, okay. It's a shame that the old me that you thought you liked of me was something of where you felt comfortable with. And that's okay. So if you want to hold on to that for you, that's okay. But I'm not. This new growth in me, sometimes I really can't explain it. I know that there's definitely, you know, more inside of me. And I know God is bringing it all out. But I don't owe you anything to stay in my old ways to make you feel comfortable. No, I don't. Growth, it hurts. It's uncomfortable at times. But don't let somebody make you feel like you have to stay where you were. You don't. You don't. You don't owe that to anyone. You don't owe that to anyone. If they're uncomfortable, then fine. And don't even have the mindset of, oh, I'm going to show you differently. Oh, I'll show you this and show you that. No. You let them stay there. You know, a lot of the times with us, we want to correct people by showing them, watch me do this. No. Just be solid. Keep on moving. Be humble. If they want to keep you in a certain arena for them, then you have to move for you. Move for God. If they like keeping you held in some arena, in some box they put you in, that's okay for them. Don't you let someone play that on your mind. Don't. And you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be yelling and screaming about it. You know the saying of just do it. Yeah, sometimes you just don't. You don't have to do it. You don't have to show up like that and be angry, howling, screaming, cussing, fighting. If you want to change and God is changing you, learn to stay in the calmness and the peace of it. Find some growth that is uncomfortable and go with it. Because trust me, at the end, and is there an end when you're growing? I don't know. Let's say for me, I hope that there isn't. I hope that I'm continually growing and continually being pruned, things that don't need to be on me, being cut right on off. Like, prune me, God. Take care of me. Remove some things that don't need to be there. If I need to be taken out of this pot plant, because I don't want to be a potted plant, please put me down into the earth. If I got to be moved over and shifted and some things got to be cut, do it, God. I want growth in my life. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want to be held into one arena. I just don't. I want to do, like I said, multitude. So, back to the question. Ask yourself a question of what it is that possibly you struggle with. Love was one of the things for me, and trust. Because I would say the only thing I can trust about someone was the fact that I couldn't trust them. You know, and now I've had to even look it up, you know, of how do I deal with trust? How do I deal with love? How do I deal with being consistent? How do I deal with doubt? It is never too late for you to pick up a book, pick up the phone, open up your mouth and ask. You know, you can find out information, especially like years have come along where we have a whole bunch of technology that can help us get through a lot. You know, what you don't know, don't be afraid or ashamed to ask somebody. I talked to my deacon and I told him about how I struggle with reading on a second grade level. You know, I struggled in school. I'm being honest. I'm not going to sit here and fake no funk. And I told him about, I was just talking one day at my job and just telling a customer how I struggled with reading and, you know, it was difficult for me. So, you know, I kind of like, you know, would not read because my teacher in second grade actually, you know how they would go around the room and have everyone read. She was like, "Oh, sisters, oh, just stop. You can't read." And that shut me down for years. So I'm talking to the customer about it, and she's just letting me talk with her. And she was like, "Okay, well, we're going to work on that." I'm thinking that she's just hurrying up, leaving out the store to go do what it is she was doing. Well, she came back the next week and came back up because she does have a home here in Philadelphia. But she went to go visit someone and came back home. Why is she coming to my job with a whole bunch of books? Told me about an app that I can download that will help me pronunciate words and help me with reading. And the big thing about it is she's a retired teacher. So this lady literally, I almost wanted to say her name, she literally helps me with reading, pronunciating words. And I am so appreciative of it because I'm like, I should be knowing stuff like this. And then I had to tear down the walls of, well, you don't. And it's okay for you to learn. It's never too late for you to learn. And just within a matter of weeks, I would say when she came in and she gave me the stuff and everything, I'm at a sixth grade reading level now. Putting in work. And I am grateful that, you know, and I didn't, I, all it did was take for me to open up my mouth, you know, and just say what was really going on. Not trying to mask it behind anything. I thought I was just having a conversation with this lady, and I was just so happy that someone was kind of listening to me. At my job, I have a lot of people that come in, a lot of different people from all different walks of life, you know. And I will say this, at my job, I am very known for giving great customer service. And I love it because I love what I do. I love working with people. I man, I know I like to do a lot of different things, but I'm actually going to start where I can do awards for random customer service people, cashiers, janitors, anybody who give excellent customer service, because it's a field that, yeah, you probably can find employment in, but what is your character in it? What is your true meaning of customer service in it? Not just the title, but why do you love what you do? If you love it. I do. I love what I do. I've had different job positions before. I worked, and I would say I worked in the welfare to work program. I worked in the airline. I worked in as a secretary, as an office like manager. I worked in fast food. I worked as a um, security officer. I've on the school buses, in the classrooms. I've done a lot. But the one thing I love about it is connecting with people. And I will honestly say, this job that I have now, it is really great because I get to be me. I get to be Audrey Lane. You know, I prefer for people to actually call me by my name, Audrey Lane. And I love where people say, oh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me teach you. That's a part of learning and going and growing. And more importantly, that's a part of the self love and care. I don't get an attitude with it. I don't get like, oh, you don't know how to pronounce it. Oh, you don't know how to take your time. I used to. Now I don't. Let me calm down. I'll tell you how to pronounce it. I'll show you how to pronounce my name. And I do that. That is a part of self-love, for you to not just tolerate how people are going to treat you. And it's how you go about it too. So I love just being pleasant and nice, and you know, showing people how to treat me. And that starts from how I treat myself. Man, you talking about asking God to come into your life and Him changing you around. Sometimes I don't even notice myself, but I notice that I wasn't how I was before. I don't have a attitude of, you know, I have a strong feeling of God just being with me. You know, a presence of Him. Sometimes I can't even put it all together. You know, I told you, every time I get on here, I have to pray first that I speak my truth, and that I speak honestly with you guys. Yes, we all know I started the YouTube channel because I want to record my divorce and everything, and I don't even know necessarily, like I was saying the other day, if that's all. That's not who all Audrey Lane is. There's a lot in me. You know, yes, that is a part of what's going on. It's happening, but that's not all of Audrey Lane. Man, me coming here and talking with you guys and sharing with you guys, you know, it's more so for me to release stuff up out of me that I'm not trying to cover it up or mask it. And before you know it, I'm angry. I want to participate and be around corrupted minded people of the hurt and the anger and the bitterness. Because everybody loved that. I had to pull myself out. And like I tell you, I've been by myself for a couple of months now. And at first it drove me nuts because I was so used to attaching myself to people and then kind of going with the flow of them. And now it's like I was like, no, girl, I got to sit you down by yourself. And I would say, best thing ever. The best thing ever. Because it's, you know, one thing I say, silence is loud. Silence is loud. But it has also had it where if you look at it like this, that silence is where you can actually sit and hear God. You know, sometimes he doesn't even have to open up his mouth. Sometimes his stillness is just a win. Sometimes it's nothing. But I know he's there because it's like I was sitting one time and I couldn't like kind of swallow. I couldn't, you know, grasp for air is what I was doing. And finally I just kind of like set up and did this, and this whole like you would have thought like something was passing down into my body to come back up. And I was like, man, can't even really describe it to you guys now. But I was like, God, that had to have been you because I was just sitting by myself and was like, I had just said, God, I need to know if you here. And literally, that happened. And then I was able, for some reason, my ears popped. And I was like, I could hear this sound of nothingness. It's one thing to have a silence and then assume, oh, I didn't hear anything. The nothingness that I'm describing to you guys was a thick sound that was so weird for me, and a heaviness on me of I'm removing stuff up and off of you. You're heavy right now, but that's because all of the stuff that you masked down in you, I now have to remove it up out of you. So I have to put the pressure on you to empty all of this stuff up out of you. I gotta squeeze, it's like squeezing a rag to make sure everything is out. Man. Thank God for God. So what are you guys going to do to make sure you show yourself some love? To let yourself know that it's okay for me to love myself. You know, and in the midst of you doing it, I promise you, things will open up for you. You'll start being in love with things you never had before and did before. You know, being open and available for the family that you said, oh, I love them, I want to love them more. I find myself being able to have conversations with my children that I couldn't have before. My daughter and I got into a disagreement today. And instead of me saying, oh no, it's going to be my way, you're going to listen to me, I actually listened with my daughter. And like I told her, disagreements are uncomfortable. And they will be. But I will tell you this, we learn from them. I don't want a yes man. I don't. I don't treat my children with what I say goes and do. You go do it how I want it to do. I treat my children like they're humans. I treat them like how I want to be treated now. It is never too late to correct certain behaviors. You probably feel like how you was raised is how you're going to raise your children. Nope, you don't have to. You do what works for you and your family, your household. And the one thing I want to show my children, and even in disagreements, is love. Love is the key thing for me right now. It definitely is. It's the key thing for me in life to go forth with everything. I want to show God that, man, you love me so much that you sent your son down here who didn't have anything to do with anything. But yet you sent this man down here to die for me so that I can have everlasting life. So instead of me blowing it, let me love people. I want to love like you, God. I do. Man. So, can we put comments in on what you think love is? Show some love to someone. Show it to you. You the one right now. God knows you love him. He does. He can tell how much you love him by how you show up for him, how you serve him. And like I said before, if you don't know how to ask God to come in your life, you don't have to do this big old extravagant thing. You just say, God, I need you. Help. Help me. Lift your hands and say, Jesus. So, show yourself some love. Do some self-care for you. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel. Follow me on this journey. Put your comments in. Remember, I told you, start your YouTube journey. Your girl will follow you. I am a big fan of support. Because right now, in this moment, I'm asking you guys to support me. So the best thing, what I always say, is sharpen someone. Hang around people who you can sharpen. You won't get sharpened back. Surround yourself with people who are sharpeners, who can love. And if you don't know how to, they'll show you. Be consistent, guys. So you guys have a good evening. Rest well. I'm going to get back on with you guys tomorrow. And thank you guys for subscribing to Just Be Audrey O'Hare. Bye now.